308 days of content, only 2 clients. If you're somewhere on the same curve, posting consistently, getting some traction, but the clients aren't just showing up, keep watching. Because none of this will fix it. More content, better niche, a new offer, paid ads, because none of these is actually what is broken. What is happening is you're running half a system. Content is only the first half of that system. And what turns viewers into clients, that's the other half that most coaches just never simply built. That was a big mistake that I did. I waited too long to start building it. Like I lived it. I posted these for 308 days straight, and even longer to be honest, but I did that straight, and thousands of likes, real engagement, but only 2 clients from it. I thought my content was doing its job. It was pretty okay, like it wasn't perfect, I'm not saying that, but it was pretty good. Like the problem is, I wasn't doing my job. The 2 clients I did get, some from sporadic random DMs with no system behind it, the coaches making 10 times more than I was making were running a real system attached to their content. And I'm gonna show you exactly what that does look like. So you don't make the same mistake or don't keep making the same mistake I've made or you're doing right now. So every conversation moves through these 4 stages. And this is something you want to be doing when it comes to your content. It's moving people through these 4 stages. And you can look at it like A, B, C, D to keep it very simple. A is initiating. People are only initiating the conversation to you, and that's those 2 clients I got, and that's probably something you're hoping to get, is initiating more people, that they are initiating a conversation with you. And you can do things like mold call to actions, you can do things and improve how your content is structured, give out lead magnets, you can do all of that to make more people initiate the conversation with you. And that's great. Keep doing that, do that. But something that most people miss is initiating the conversation, that you initiate it. And that's stage A. But many people do that, and great. But that doesn't bring the results you're looking for because you're not moving them through the stages. They need to become that booked call, and so that you can turn them into clients. So how I like to look at it is A, initiated, like I just mentioned, then engaged. They're engaged, they're replying, they're showing real interest. Then from there they move into scheduling. They either said a yes to a call, the booking link is sent, or they mention book a call. That's how I look at it. Like they're in the scheduling stage. Then it's just they book the call. The call is confirmed on your calendar. If you're not tracking every conversation through these 4 stages, you don't really have a system. You're just hoping things turn out. You just have activity that you're throwing things at the wall, hoping things turn out like you want to. But that's not how real businesses are built. They're built from real data, from iteration, from having these stages, having this system, not something just random. That's why I was only making, I was getting sporadic results from my content because I didn't have a real system behind the content. Well, the content I was posting every single day, yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good compared to all the people I was looking at. It was pretty good. Like I was getting engagement. Every single person I did talk to through the DMs, the response was great, positive. They liked my content, they really loved my message. Everything like that was great, but I just didn't have a system behind it. Because the content is the hook and DMs is where the money lives. Basically, what you have been doing, what I was doing, you're making hooks and refusing to reel the fish in. You have the hooks on the fishing rod and you're throwing them, but you're not reeling them in. You're not using those signals you're getting. Your content is there underutilized so much. Like when I look at so many coaches, they get scared of doing this outreach, to talking to the people that already showing signal that they like your stuff. You just have to reel it in. And what you want to do is reel it in with a system I just mentioned, moving them through these phases, those stages, so you can make it more predictable and systematic, that you're getting people on those calls. So you're getting consistent clients. And here are like 3 signals you can look at. 3 opening moves from the signals you're getting from the content. Basically, there are 3 main signals. Accepting, like I'm excluding the ones that when people DM you. That is, people follow you, they comment on your post or like it. And there are 3 opening moves depending on each situation. So some things I want to mention before I show you these opening moves. What I recommend for you to doing, I did a test on this on TikTok. And the reply rate doing voice notes, I think I couldn't send a video on TikTok if I remember correctly when I was doing the test. The reply rate doing voice note was around 40%. When I did text, 5% or something like that. It quadrupled. No, quadrupled. The math is incorrect. Okay, I haven't. Basically, it was so much more higher. Like, I was getting around 40% positive reply rate because I was sending voice notes. Because people, it felt more personal. It was more likely for people to actually open the message and like, okay, I'm going to listen to it. And when they have listened to it, they have already spent time on it. They're like, okay, why not just respond to it, worst case. And then you have the opportunity to actually move them through the stages. Also, something, send fast. Start the conversations quickly. Like, don't try to craft the perfect message in 3 days. Speed is, like, speed to lead is a saying that's they built, I think, or talked about in Gym Lounge, a company that Alex Ramosi sold, and how they were getting great results when it comes to the gyms they had, was the speed to lead, being as quickly as possible to send a message, to start that conversation, instead of waiting weeks and months, like hoping they start the conversation, or maybe when I feel like it's starting it, just start it. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't have to send them a 20-minute video. You can just make it quick and easy, a quick voice note, a video, and just do it quickly. And also, everything here is an example, not a script. Don't do monkey see, monkey do. Iterate it, change it, refine it to your niche instead of just copying it and, oh, it's not working. If everyone is copying the same script, what happens? Like, it will get oversaturated. So take the structure, take the thinking behind it and adopt it to your niche. So the 3 clearest buying signals. Well, the first one is the followers. And then you can have like kind of 3 options you could look for. There are more, I'm going to be honest, but these are like the 3 most common ones you can use. And try to DM them as fast as possible. Option 1 is just a question opener. Maybe something around what made you hit the follow button or something else. It can be any question at all. So you can like, so voice note, hey John, I saw you just followed me. I was wondering what made you hit that follow button, or something like that. Just a question that's related to your niche, or can be some just, why did you follow me? It can be. You can test. That's what I recommend. If you're getting many followers, test it. Like, okay, I'm gonna send this to 50 people. I'm gonna send this one to 50 people. Where did I get that high response rate? Okay, I'm gonna do more of that and less of all the other stuff. Yeah, real data. Whoa. And then option B, an A to B. That's usually something that works pretty well. And I recommend doing it as voice, not a video, because this is a very common one in this space, in the coaching space or the online space, and it's good. But most people do it as a text-based opener. And for me, for example, I just don't really like it because everyone else, or many people are doing it. But if you do it as a voice, not a video, the response rate is going to be much higher and the friction is low. Like, because it's like, did you follow because of X, Y, or C? Or did you follow because of X or Y? Because you already know your niche, you should have these things dialed in, or you should know like why they should be following you. And then option C can be, this is something I've seen and it works pretty well. It's very simple. It's just like, yo John, yo, and it can be a text, voice, video. It's very simple. It's just to start the conversation. Usually you want to use this if you have a higher follower rate. That's where I got introduced to this from an agency guy who's doing this and running this system, and it works very well. So you could use that. And these are examples. but you're starting the conversation using one of these frameworks, these options. Do it now. Like, don't wait. Like, I gain more from you watching this video to the end, but if you're watching this right now and you haven't done this, pause the video, send those messages, come back and keep watching. That's what I recommend. Like, don't wait. Be an action taker. Then a public reply, like if they are commenting. Let's say, for example, they're commenting on how to grow post or mistakes, results. Like, you can match it to that. You can then make your DM personalized to their specific situation, the thing they're commenting on. So if they're commenting on how to post, hey John, I saw your comment on this. Are you working on X, Y, or Z, whatever? Like, you're trying to personalize it to their situation. You're mentioning their name. You're doing it a voice note, a video. Like, that makes you stand out from the most of the crowd who are just sending text-based basic messages, or most people don't even send a message. That's worse. So, and most people who send a message do it text-based. So if you're doing voice notes or video, wow, like you're already ahead of 90% of people. And you're making it personalized on top of it. Oh my God, like, you're gonna crush it. Because you are spending the time. They know you spent the time to open that message, personalize it. Like, you saw the comment, you saw what they said, then you sent the message personalized to them. They will think, wow, this guy actually took some time to send this message instead of this is some generic auto DM like most people have, especially if they're over X amount of followers. And I totally understand why they do it. But even though maybe it would be even more profitable for them, I'm not saying, all right, wait, I actually have the data to kind of prove it, but like, if they have an appointment setter sending those messages personalized to every single person, they would get a high response rate, just saying. But yeah, if you're getting comments on your post, use it as a signal and refine the message, the DM you send to that specific situation. Then the last backup signal, if you're getting likes on your post, if you have basically finished the whole list of followers and comments, if you're not getting enough followers each day and comments, then you can use your backup signal, likes. You can then DM those people, mention something personalized to the post they liked or the profile, whatever. So you can say something like, hey, I noticed you've been engaging with my stuff. I appreciate it. What got you interested in your niche? Or I noticed you've been engaging with this specific post. You can mention the post, the specific thing that you watched. Or you can say, add something else on top of it. Like, you can say, hey, John, I really like, I'm trying to think of an example. Basically, you can add some personalized line to it. Like, you can check out their profile, maybe find something there, and then add that to make it even more likely they respond. Then you send a voice note. The framework is simple. Just send a voice note or video, mention the name, make it more personalized, and then you go through the list. Followers first, comments, and then likes as a backup signal. Like, don't make it feel random. Make it feel personalized, like you've noticed them, that you're engaging. And also, something I want to mention, like, don't get banned in week one. When you message commenters or likers who aren't following you, the platform will treat that usually as cold outreach. And that's a similar risk to DMing strangers. So, like, don't go to a messaging spree to non-followers, especially doing it high volume with the same script. Don't do that. That's why personalization is going to help you avoid that. Sending voice notes and videos is going to help a lot because the algorithm can pick up on exactly what you're saying, where it's harder, and also that means you're always changing the script or the framework you're using, so it's less likely you get banned from it. It has happened to me, and I've seen many accounts. It does happen. They get an action block or something like that. So ramp up slowly your messaging and make sure you're changing the script if you're sending text-based, or you're spreading it out, something like that. And like, the cap I've seen is around, like, the cap is higher. Like, I think the limit is 50 cold messages on, for example, Instagram, if I remember correctly. But like, if you're going over 20 a day on like these cold prospects and you're not very active on your Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform, there's a high chance you're getting some kind of action block or something like that. But if you're really active on the platform, the more active you're on it basically and just engaging, doing random stuff on the platform, the higher like cap of message you can get away with. You can look at that. But around 20 is a good limit to look around. And yeah, make sure switching the text-based openers. Like this is a big reason, one of the biggest ones why coaches try outreach for a few days, get a warning and quit. Like don't be that coach. So like something you need to know is your content might not be broken. Well, could be a reason, not gonna lie, but it usually isn't broken for many coaches that I see. Just your fear of starting real conversations is, because so many people are trying improve content, but your fear of starting the real conversations is the real problem. Why you're not getting more clients and more consistent clients. Like no amount of better hooks fixes the real problem of you just not starting those conversations in the beginning. So volume creates wow, I can't pronounce the name. Basically, volume neglects luck. I'm gonna word it like that. The more you do, the less luck you have to be. And I'm gonna show you some benchmarks. So if you're sending all of these messages, you're posting content and sending and utilizing all of these signals every single day. So let's say, for example, you're sending 20 messages a day, every single day on your platform to non-followers. That means with the benchmark I'm gonna show you, so let's say, for example, 1%. That means you're at least booking one call every 5 days just from the cold outreach. So that's 5 days, so that's at least 6 calls booked just from the cold outreach. And that means on only one platform with a 1% booking rate. So that's like on the lower end. That's 6 calls booked on top of what you're already doing. And if you improve your opener, improve your system, that can go up to 3.5%. Maybe even higher, depending on niche, situation, all of that. And then, if it's warm content engagers, those likers and commenters, that can be higher. That can go all the way up to 15% if it's like people are following your content and engaged, all of that. And those numbers go up. And if there's followers, you can message more people. If you're getting more followers every single day, those stats just keep rising and rising and rising. And just think of those numbers. So 6 calls a month can go up to the numbers, the highest numbers I've seen are in the thousands. I think, yeah, something around that. So it can be crazy. And also if you're doing like Skool inbound, the personal range I've seen is from 19.3 to 39.3%. So you can check these numbers with the things you're doing. You can have this data and you can just know, if I do more and I'm tracking these metrics, I can basically make it so the likelihood of I not succeed becomes impossible because I have the metrics, I just up the volume, the metrics if they stay the same, and they usually can do if you have a good system, then you could just basically outwork your luck in a sense. Because you could just track the metrics, keep upping the volume, you get more book calls, more clients, and yeah, it just becomes a game of math instead of just game of hope and pray. So a way I like to look at this, and this is something I learned from Alex Ramosi, is do this in this order. More, so if it's working, do more of it. So 30 days DMs a day becomes 60 if you can. 2 other platforms, if it's cold outreach, you might want to stay in the range of it. But basically, ask yourself, why can't I just do more? Do I need to create a new account? That's usually not maybe that's an answer. Or do I need to do it on other platforms? Or do I need to hire an appointment setter? What it is, like why can't you just do fucking more? Then do better. Once the volume is maxed, improve then the quality. Then better openers, better follow-up, whatever it is. And then only then, when you have maxed out the better and more, so you just do more until you can't do more, then you try to do better, and then try to do more of that better, and you try that flywheel until you just capped out, or it just stops working, then you can look into adding a new system, try something new, or whatever. And that's a big mistake I've done too many times, and too many coaches do, is they don't do more, and they straight away start doing better or worse, do something new. So they don't have enough volume going through the system to actually know if it works or how to improve it or anything like that. So just please try to follow this order, and I promise you, you will make so much more progress. Because the two games you are playing, try to play both. DMs gives you the clients this month. It keeps you more alive while your content is compounding. Because if you can create like the funnels I talked about, the lead magnets, all of that, but that's a more long-term game. So you want those DMs, those conversations, these outbound messages to keep you alive right now, to keep this system compounding. And you can have that always attached to your content. So you're scaling even more, faster, better, everything. And then the content you're building is that audience you're building over the months and the years while you try to improve your content. So if you have to pick one right now, I would pick DMs outreach every single time in the beginning. But the best play, if you can, is build the inbound system, keep building that, spending maybe 1 day a week on that, and then on top of it, doing the outbound. That's how I would approach it. So, in simple terms, do content, attach DMs on it, and personalize it to every single person. Send those DMs, don't wait, and do it. And if you're having all of these conversations, but nothing is converting, that's a different problem. So if you want, you can book a call, a conversion constraint diagnosis call, to figure out why it isn't working and what you should focus on to get that fixed. And if you want, it's totally optional, no pressure at all, but if you want, we can diagnose the call. That call is totally free. There will no pitch on that call. If I think you're a fit for my program, I will ask you to jump on another call so we can explore that. But on this constraint call, I won't pitch you at all. I only pitch people that I think is a great fit for my program. And if you're not, then you'll get some value and I'll point you in the right direction. Because in simple terms, content gets your attention, DMs cash it in, half a system gets you half the result. So please don't underutilize the outbound. DM, cash it in, please. And if you want to book that call, book it. No pressure at all. Good luck. Thank you so much for watching.